Good morning, everybody. We are letting people in. It's 10:01. Welcome to our webinar this morning. Hopefully it's not too loud where I am sitting. We're going to give everybody, 2 to 3 minutes to pop on in. I'll get started with our webinar today. So while you are waiting, drop in the chat where you guys are calling in from, how many testimonials you've collected. We've got a very specific question that John's going to go over in a little bit to get your insight on. But just in a little bit, just introduce yourself, say hi in the chat. And we have a lot of people that RSVP'd for this. So I'm very excited for today's call and just to really get you guys going with 5-star reviews and to get to allow John to really give you guys some great insight, powerful insight. Heidi's from Cleveland. I am also from Cleveland. I'm very proud, 440, but I live in Austin now. We have Kevin, good morning. Jorge, good morning. David is from Vietnam. Hi. Hello from Spain. Annie, love to see you. Allie's from Salem. We've got Sarasota. Amazing. Wow. So many amazing people. I'm so excited that you guys are here. Like I said, we're just going to give it a couple more minutes. So make sure that you have your notebooks, have a Notion page open up to take your notes, and we will get started here in a few minutes.
Amazing. Sarah, I just want to jump on the mic and welcome a few people that I see coming in that I see your smiling faces. So I love it if we can see your face. If you're in a place where you can turn on your camera, there are studies that show it does actually help you focus if you know you're on camera, so you're less likely to be kind of staring off in the distance. But it also helps us because the reality is we're here to help real people, and that's part of what we're going to be talking about today. But seeing your smiling faces helps us know who we are helping. So, oh, hey, whoa, I just made myself big on accident. We're learning how butter works. We're all learning today. So hello, everybody. I think actually we can highlight both of us right now, Sarah. Look at that. That's fancy. Well, hey, so I just want to say hello. I see quite a few people popping in. I'm going to call out a few names of just people if I see your face. So, hey, Tony. Hey, Dusty. Good to see you. Hey, Jorge. Hey, there's these like little funky avatars. I guess it's probably a butter thing. These like robots. Hey, Kyle. Good to see you. And I saw Annette in there earlier. Good to see you. Hey, Parker. Amazing. Hey, Mama J. Hey, Joseph. Good to see you all here. So we have an international audience. I love that. That's one of the magic. I never get tired of that. I've been doing this for whole online business thing for full time for about 12 years. I never get tired of the fact that within a few minutes, we already have people from, I was going to say every continent. That's probably not true, but at least from all over the world. And so I get so excited about that. Thank you for being here. Hey, David. Hey, Tisha, Reginald, Annie. Amazing. Love that. Yeah, so we're going to be excited to be getting started in just a moment.
Yes, and also, guys, if you are currently unmuted, please mute yourself. I'm trying to go through the list and mute anybody who's got the feedback, but just so we don't have any sound feedback as we're going. Melissa said it already is good. Okay, Nadine too. I'm going to try and figure out how to do that for all the participants, but we'll have an opportunity, guys, to unmute and ask questions at the end, just so you know. Okay, perfect. All right, guys. Well, I think, how do you feel? John, you ready to get started?
Let's go.
All right. All righty, guys. Well, welcome to, honestly, our first official affiliate-led webinar at Senja. We are so honored and so excited that John is here and he's giving us his time for you to really learn how to use testimonials to get those 5-star reviews, and also how he uses Senja to do so. So I'm going to let him take over and give his bio here in a second. But before we do, we have a question that we want you guys to answer in the chat. And it is, if John asked you today to buy a 2K coaching program, what would keep you from saying yes? So I really want you to think about that as we come into today's call, and really think about how we can actually get you to say yes and how to get your audience to say yes. And John is going to give you all the tools to do that. So without further ado, John, I'm going to let you screen share and take over. And
You got it.
I will be watching the chat for questions that come up.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. So I'm so excited to be here. Senja is like one of my favorite tools. I've been using Senja for a while now, and it just made it so easy. So this is not just like a paid endorsement for Senja, but I'm just going to say real quick, what we're talking about applies even if you're not using Senja, right? Even if you're not using a software like that, we're going to be talking today about how do you actually collect reviews and testimonials, and then how do you use them to grow your business. These are really key strategy for sales and marketing to grow your business. However, also just say up front, I use Senja myself as a paying customer, and I love it. It makes it so easy for me to elegantly highlight and celebrate clients, which is really fun to actually celebrate happy customers to get more customers. So glad you're all here. And a little bit about me real quick. So if you would jump to the bio slide real quick. I am an author. So if you don't know who I am, I'm the author of 3 best-selling books, including Serve to Sell is my most recent book. I'm the founder of a program called Sold Out Coach Club. And my whole business, my brand is focused on helping you sell your smarts without losing your soul or your Saturdays. Right. So I want to help you find an authentic way to show up as yourself online, to take the real life wisdom and knowledge and experience you have, and to build a business off of that, selling courses, books, memberships, coaching programs. That's what I've done for over a decade myself. And on the slide, I mentioned since launching my business, I have helped my clients earn more than $1 million from group coaching, but that was the most recent accomplishment. Before then, I helped clients earn millions of dollars from, originally I started with courses. And then as the market changed, I focused on memberships for recurring revenue. And a few years ago, I refocused on group coaching. And now I have individual clients who've earned more than $1 million from group coaching. So altogether, millions, I suppose. But I would love to guide you through a little bit. I'm going to show some behind the scenes of how I use reviews, how I collect them, and how I use them in my business. And there's going to be plenty of time for Q&A. So I'm excited to dive in and share this with you. Probably back to the question we asked a minute ago of just saying like, hey, if somebody asked you to buy a $2,000 coaching package right now or coaching program, what would keep you from saying yes? I want to just highlight a couple of the answers in the chat. Like Joseph says, coaching for what, right? So like, that's an important one. Like, what's the offer? Kyle says, John is the best. The only thing that would hold me back is my current finances. Okay. Well, thank you, Kyle. I appreciate that. But no, you're the best. But still, seriously, one of them is going to be like, hey, money for what, right? So that's called a scarcity objection. So David says, currently not having the time to dedicate and apply to learnings. That's also a scarcity objection, by the way. Money and time are our 2 most precious resources. Mama J said nothing would hold me back because she's already a paying customer of mine. So John's program is the bomb. Kevin says finances. Andy says, what's the ROI, the promise? Lisa says no funds. Yeah, so a lot of this comes back to price right away because the only thing you know about the program, by the way, we told you, was the price. This program doesn't exist. This is just a thought experiment. I wanted to lead with saying, like, what are the kind of things that could keep you up? So Jared said, not understanding the value within my life. So one of the things I teach in my book, Serve to Sell, is that when you're trying to sell a premium program, like anything that's $1,000 or $2,000 or more, and I have clients who sell $20,000 or $30,000 programs, there's 4 primary roadblocks you have to overcome. The first one is desire. Do they actually want it? Right? Like, it doesn't matter how good your offer is. If you're selling me cat food and I have a dog, it doesn't matter how good the cat food is. I don't want it. Right? There's no desire. So desire is the first thing you have to overcome. But then there are 3 hurdles to every sale. There's credibility, believability, and scarcity. Credibility is basically, are you legit? Like, do you actually know what you're talking about? Can you help? Right? So if you're selling a program to help me get rock hard abs, you better have rock hard abs, right? Like, honestly, like, I need to know, like, are you credible? Right? So like, that's one of the things I'm looking for. But the credibility thing is, for most of you, that's probably pretty simple to overcome, which is like, teach things that you actually know. And then that's not a problem. The biggest one that's hard for a lot of people to overcome is believability. So I want to explain the difference in credibility and believability, because this is where reviews come in. Credibility is, can you help? Believability is, can you help me? Right? So whatever you're selling, whether you're helping people become healthier, wealthier, happier, there are people you're going to talk to who are going to say, yeah, I'm sure you could help somebody. But, in my situation, here's the caveat. Here's the reason why this doesn't work for me, right? I'm too busy, or I've got young kids, or I don't have a 401k, or everyone's got an objection, right? Why it won't work for me, for them, right? Yeah, Annie just called it special snowflake syndrome. Yeah, so everybody thinks they're a special snowflake, and there's a reason why it won't work for them. But what you find over time is you hear these objections over and over and over again. And so I want to highlight for you real quick that how you overcome that is primarily with reviews, by highlighting people like you who've done this thing, people like you who've gotten this result. That's what helps people see that. By the way, Sarah, I just noticed when the top right, it looks like we are maxed out. I don't know if you can increase the cap of how many people can join, but it looks like we have a full waiting room and a full room. So if you're here live, you're here
right now.
Okay, good. Yeah. All right. So for now, this is a sold out room. We'll see if we can increase the size of the room, but right now it's a sold out room. So that's pretty cool. but yeah, so believability is how you overcome that, right? So like, it's one thing if you look at somebody's offering, you're like, that won't work for me. But if you're, a single mom with young kids, and then you see a testimonial from a single mom with young kids, you're like, well, wait a minute, maybe this can work for me. And it starts to increase your believability and you're likely to purchase. Scarcity is the last objection you have to overcome, which is this worth my precious money and time? But a lot of people think that's the most important one. But the reality is that doesn't matter. If you haven't jumped the hurdles of credibility and believability, then scarcity doesn't matter, right? If I don't want it and I don't believe it's possible, it doesn't really matter, right? So we have to overcome believability. It's a really key one. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. So let me share my screen and show you a little bit about how I use testimonials in my business. Let's see, new share. And yeah, so I want to show you how I use testimonials in my business, and then also talk about how I got them. Because when I started this, I didn't have testimonials. Like, I didn't wake up and go, you know what, I should just click all my amazing testimonials from all over the internet and display them on my website. No, I didn't really have any, right? You start with zero. And so then I had to figure out, how do I do this? And at first I was kind of cringy. At first I would just like ask people, it kind of felt a little bit like, so I got married just before dating apps took off. So I don't actually know what that was like, but it felt like dating apps where I'm just like, do you like me? Like, you're just like, I was homeschooled. I never got good at the whole like social pressure thing. And so going on the internet where like people are like, have to like leave me a review, or like, it was a whole awkward thing. So it did take me some iteration to learn how to ask. And I'll also talk about that today, like how to ask for reviews and testimonials in a really natural way, an effortless way, that gets you what you need to grow your business. But I'm also going to show you how I use them now. I'm also going to mention, I'll drop a link in the chat. If you want to follow along, pro.sellyoursmarts.co, you can kind of see some of these things to click on yourself. I personally like to not just watch, but click on things and poke them myself. So if that's useful to you, use that. But you'll see right here at the very top of my website, when people land here, you find out here's this smiling guy. Here's the promise of what I do. Here's a little bit of a teaser for how I can help you. And there's other people doing this. So there's this sort of like social proof here of like thousands of smart professionals. You're like, interesting. But then you see, oh, wait a minute, hundreds of 5-star reviews. That's interesting. And so this is the first thing someone sees when they land on my website. Now, if you go here and you click on this, it's going to take you to a dedicated page. Now, Senja calls this a wall of love. And this is 100% built on Senja, what you're looking at right now. This is literally just, there's Mama J, who's here actually in the chat. There's her video testimonial right there, front and center. There's all of these text testimonials. There's Annette Chesney. I didn't plan this, but she's also here in the room, right? So if we go down, we might find some other people in the room who've left me reviews for not just me, really, but my work. Because the first time you start getting reviews or testimonials, they tend to be things like, yeah, John's like not a bad guy, and those are, those sort of like, those are a good start. What you really want to get are things like people saying, hey, this was 90 minutes of let's get stuff done. Or people saying, let's see, there was so much value. My biggest takeaway here, I'm currently halfway to my first sold out group cohort, right? So you want to look for people sharing results. And so that's this now on mine. For me, this has hundreds, literally over 300 5-star reviews on this page. You can see it takes a minute to load, and you keep going, you keep going, you keep going. Yeah. So that's right there, front and center, right? You start scrolling down, you learn a little bit more about me, my work, that kind of stuff. Homepage is pretty basic here. But what I want to highlight then is also every single product that you were to look at. So if you were to look over at maybe joining my membership site, Sell Your Smarts Pro, right away, you'll see that same thing front and center. But then as you go through and read and learn about the program, you'll also see testimonials placed throughout the program, which, by the way, you can be your own testimonial. Here's one from my wife. I asked my wife, I'm like, hey, how's my business changed your life? And she's like, well, your business replaced both of our incomes, which allowed me to be a full-time mom to our 4 sons. And I was like, hey, I'm going to quote you on that, right? She didn't fill out a form. Just to be clear, I did not send my wife a form and said, leave me a review or testimonial. I just said, hey, what kind of impact has my business had on our family? And then I said, can I quote you on that, right? That's a great way to start. And if you go down here, you'll see there's just, again, more and more and more of these. And I'll show you in a minute how I got some of these. Similar thing here. Let's click over to, let me show you real quick. So for my coaching program, oh dear. Well, that's not what we want. That's okay. I can fix that. So here for my coaching program, then what you'll find is that I put them strategically throughout the place, not just all at once, but like right away when you start reading about the program, you see this beautiful slider. This is Senja, of saying, hey, here's all these just reviews of people who've gone through the program, sliding across the screen. You can click play to watch some of these videos. You could scroll around and see some of these. And then when you get down to the bottom, some people say they don't see my screen share. I don't know why. Some people see it. So I would say refresh your screen if you don't see it. or just click the link in the chat, pro.sellyoursmarts.co, if you want to follow along on mobile. Yeah. So, but I'll tell you right now, I'm on the Sold Out Coach Club or coaching page. And so you can see right here, when you get to the bottom of the page, I'm assuming if you have scrolled down and read through this massive page that tells you all about my coaching program, if you get to the end, I'm assuming you're still interested. And so I just flood it with just this wave of all of these amazing testimonials. Most of these are videos in this case, of people sharing the results they got, the impact that's had on their business, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. This makes it so easy to close sales for, in my case, a $10,000 coaching program, because in my case, I'm selling, you want it, right? So I only talk to people who want to grow a sold out group coaching program. So that's a desire piece first. You have to have an offer that people actually want. And not everyone wants that, but if you want to grow a sold out group coaching program with zero social media or paid ads, I'm your guy. So when I talk to people, once they've reached that point, they've already established desire before we ever talk. They've already established credibility, because if they poke around a little bit and find out I'm an author, I've helped people legitimately with this, I know what I'm talking about. Really, I know when I'm talking to somebody in a live conversation, believability is the primary thing that I need to overcome. And I know that. So what I do is, on the conversation, I ask people questions to learn about their situation, and I help them connect the dots to see, oh, wow, you can be successful with this, and here's why. Here's what I see. And then if it's relevant, I share a testimonial related to their situation, and that helps. But again, I didn't start with all of these, so I'll talk in a minute about how to get them. One of the first things I would say when it comes to how to get them is, you probably do have some testimonials you don't realize you have. Because when I started using Senja, what I did was I just went into my email inbox, and I literally just started kind of scrolling through conversations with past customers or email subscribers. And I found all these times where people said like, hey, this was great. This was super helpful. This was actually, I think I could show you one right now. If I click here, I've got a screenshot from an email over here. Marissa said, how often can you say I love that email? So she just had to reply to something, and then she shared it with some friends. And I just took that and I said, hey, can I share that? She said, yeah. So sometimes you get email replies where people are saying nice things to you. And you just got to ask, hey, can I quote you on that? And then you can put that on your website. Another thing I found is, as an author, a lot of quick show of hands. Let's see, can you show? Okay. Give me a light bulb. So if you click the Q button and then you say, I have an idea, it gives a little light bulb. Give me a light bulb if you're an author. I'd love to know how many people we have here who have published a book. So if you're an author, give me that light bulb. You click the little, there's a little, I guess it's like a finger button on the side, and then you click, I have an idea. I guess it's a bulb. There we go. I see we got some authors in the house. I see those popping up. Amazing. Amazing. I love that. We love all of you, just to be clear, not just authors. But it is the thing is 80% of people on the planet want to publish a book in their life, but less than 1% actually do it. So you are the 1%. Thank you so much for being here. Good. Congratulations, Jared, Tisha, Buck, Allie, Kat, and me. I guess I'm the other one on the list. So thank you for sharing that. If you're an author, it's very common for you to have reviews that are just dying and collecting dust on Amazon or wherever you sell your book. Sometimes people review your book on Goodreads. I missed that. I forgot that existed. I found that recently. But if you look over here on one of my books on Amazon, you can see I've got 72 ratings right there for this book. Now, this is, if you look at my library of all of my books, well, here's 2 of them. You can see each one of these. You've got, yeah, Mama J, you get credit too. You're an author too. I see you're looking for the button. It's okay. Mama J, I know. So if you click on these right here, you'll see all these reviews. Most authors who have a handful of reviews on Amazon, that's all. It just sits on Amazon. And that helps. Like, reviews are good on Amazon, but there's such a missed opportunity here for leveraging these in other places of your business, right? And so one of the first things I did when I started using Senja was they have a direct integration with Amazon where I could say, here's my books, and it just pulled over all of those testimonials. And so now on my own website, I also sell my book on my own store. So you don't have to go to Amazon. You can. There's a button, but you can buy it from me. Scroll down. What do you see? All of these reviews. So I want you to buy the book from me directly. I make a little more money that way, and then also have your contact information so I can follow up with you. But I want you to leave a review on Amazon because that helps the Amazon algorithm to promote my book. And so the ability to have both and is magic. For me to say, when you leave a review on Amazon, it shows up on my website automatically. That's pretty cool. So these are also reviews that I include in my reviews page on my wall of love, so to speak. Yeah. And you can see where also, by the way, if you go back to wall of love, you can even sort it by book reviews alone, because I have those kind of as a category, client testimonials from products that people have bought, or the default there is just all. So that's a bit about how I use them. So let me show you as well how I get some of these reviews. Like I mentioned, sometimes it's literally just going to your email inbox and saying, okay, where do I have these? Or asking your spouse, hey, what kind of impact has my business had on your life? But then also, I also discovered that one of the best ways to get reviews from people who've gone through a live workshop or a coaching program is just to ask, hey, what was your most useful takeaway from today? And so I'll do that at the end of every single workshop. And when I get a really good answer, I say, what's your most useful takeaway? And someone says, oh my gosh, you just solved a problem I've been worrying about for the last 5 years. And I think I just figured out how to double my business. I say, that's amazing. Can I quote you on that? And that becomes a testimonial or a review. Also, let me show you a real life example of how I did this recently that was super, super easy. So let me go back to sharing my screen in a new way. So I'm resharing it. So I know some people have had some trouble with the screen share. So hopefully this will help. I've never used Butter before, so I'm not sure what's going on there. But here we go. So recently I taught a live workshop, and then to everybody who attended, because I'm using Circle here, I sent them this DM. I said, hey, how would you rate today's workshop? Click here to rate 1 to 5 stars. And so it looks really simple. You're like, you click here, whichever one you click on, it's going to take you to this form. And I think you can see, yeah, sharing this tab. Okay, great. So it says, how would you rate this workshop? Now, this is using Senja's new form, which I think is brilliant, which allows you to really position this. Instead of saying, rate me, give me a testimonial, you're just asking for feedback. How would you rate this workshop? And so then you can see if you rate it 2 or 3 or 1, let's give it a 1-star rating for a minute. Oof, cringy. Sorry to hear that. So I can personalize what happens next. Sounds like this workshop didn't meet your needs right now. Could you share why or what you wish you experienced instead? And so I get this private feedback, which is amazing. I want that feedback. But if you say 4 or 5, instead, on the next page, you say, amazing. Would you be willing to share a public review, text or video of the workshop you went to, or John Meese of John Meese, or and Study Smarts in general? So you share the feedback, click here, record a video. Let's just see. I'm going to go ahead and allow. Hello, I'm recording a video right now. So easy. And I even got some over things here, some tips. Introduce yourself. I like them. I want to learn what wins you. Okay, let me see real quick. Hey, this workshop was super useful because I'm an author and I didn't realize how many reviews are out there that I guess collecting digital dust are just wasted resources that are just sitting on Amazon. And by using Senja, I'm able to import them over to my website, use them in other ways. And it's pretty amazing. So I'm excited about that because it's going to allow me to grow my business. And it's a quick win, honestly. Done. Super simple. Hey, this workshop was super useful because I'm an author and I didn't realize how many reviews are out there that I got. And done. Then it says, then it also asks, do you have any private feedback, right? Keep up the good work. Submit. And then it's going to ask who I am, right? So I won't fill that out because I'm not actually submitting a review to myself. Or maybe I will. Let me see, because I want to see what, I don't actually remember what I set up on the back end of this, but you can set up rewards for people. I don't actually remember if I did that, so we'll find out. Continue. Let's see. So submit. What was your most useful takeaway from this specific workshop? Oh, right. Yeah, I like it. I'm going to submit it. Thank you. Okay, great. It just says, thank you. That's fine. One thing you can do here, which I've experimented with, is you can give a gift. You can say, hey, would you like a free copy of my book as a way to say thank you? Or can I give you a coupon code towards one of my courses? And there's even one I saw recently where you can do a spin the wheel thing where someone like spins the wheel to get a different reward based on what they're doing, which I think is pretty cool. So that's a little bit of a tour of kind of how I use testimonials and reviews, and then also how I recommend you ask for them. There is so much more to share here, and you don't need 300 reviews. I should say, like, there comes a point where it becomes excessive, right? Like, I kind of like focused on getting 100, and then really quickly I had like so many that now probably I've slowed down. Now I'm looking more like, what are the gaps, right? Like, so I had a period of time where some people told me like, hey, I noticed that I don't see, this is coming from women. I noticed I don't see a lot of women who've left testimonials for your program. And a couple of times I actually used that during the sales process to say, you know what, you're right. I haven't had as many women go through this program, but I have no reason why to believe it wouldn't be also helpful for women. If you're interested in going through the program, I'd love to talk about what would it look like for you to be a case study that I celebrate in the future. And so I actually used that a couple of times to close a sale where somebody was like, yeah, I'd love to be a case study. Went through the program, got results, came back, recorded a video. And that helps me fill a gap in my proof of that my stuff works. But it also helps, honestly, just address that objection head on. So I'd love to know what questions you have. So if you would click the button again, the little Q button, if you have a question. And there is a button there. I guess you click what do? You click the Q button or you hit the Q icon, and then it says, I have a question or I have a comment, right? So if you would click that and share that, or just share that you have a question, pop it up, and then I would love to bring in the mic to share your question. Let me see real quick. I'm going to kind of X out some of these author things. That's great. By the way, Sarah, before we open it up to kind of like general Q&A, is there anything we haven't talked about that we need to talk about, or anything you want to highlight about kind of maybe just how I use Senja that you think we should talk about?
I will say I absolutely loved that you showed off the new forms, because we actually just launched those about 2 weeks ago. And our whole goal with the new forms, like John showed y'all, is really to just take you through this easy flow of, let's set this up, ask the right questions, and ask very directed questions, right? Like John said kind of at the beginning, it's so great that I'm a good person, but like, how good was my program, right?
Yeah,
Like, I actually want to know the value and the solution I brought. And that's really the goal of Senja. And I've seen a couple of questions in the chat of like,
Amazing.
what if you get a negative review, right? And one of those things that's actually really great about our forms is there literally is a toggle that allows you to kind of have to approve reviews and testimonials that come in. So that way you can really dictate positive reviews and not have to worry of like, oh my God, if somebody hates me, they're going to spam my form. And, then my wall of love is just going to be a mess.
Yeah.
So all of those features are available to everybody, whether you're on a free or a paid plan. We completely revamped the forms for everyone. So and then there are some other questions in here. So if you, John, want to go through them specifically, or I can call them out, it's up to you.
Yeah, well, if you have a question, if you're willing to raise your hand or like click the Q icon and say I have a question so we can answer it live, I think that's my preference because it's just more of like interaction for us. But I think also I want to address, like Sarah, what you just mentioned about negative reviews. I'll just tell you how I handle that. My website is like my front porch, where it's like it's like the storefront. Like if I had a brick and mortar space, like that's my real estate. And so I get to choose what's there. And so I don't think anybody has a right to post a negative review on my website. And so, but I do want feedback. But in my opinion, negative feedback is best handled privately, unless you're just a con artist. So don't be a con artist, step one. And then secondly, when someone gives you negative feedback, what I like about Senja Forms is it doesn't, like when someone clicks anything less than a 4, it doesn't actually submit that as a testimonial or ask people to leave a public review. It just says, what private feedback do you have? I love that. But also, if somebody leaves a negative review on Amazon, I do have a couple 1-star and 3-star reviews, not many. But I don't put that on my website. I have a rule with the Amazon integration that's like, yeah, just put 4- and 5-star reviews. And originally it was just 5-star, but I thought, you know what? 4-star reviews are okay. There are people who are very selective of when they give out 5-star reviews. And sometimes a 4-star review is amazing. I've definitely had that before. I've had 3-star reviews that said, this book was great. And you're like, really? That's it? That's the whole thing? Could give me 2 more stars? But still, 4-star reviews are good too. So I have 4- and 5-star reviews appear on my website. I pull those over from Amazon, from Goodreads, from just the Senja forms. So I just want to say that's how I handle that. And if someone does have a negative review, I'm going to address it with them if I can. But sometimes they're just mean, but sometimes it's actual critical feedback that's useful to help us improve. Sarah, I know we have lots of questions and I want to get to those, but I also know that you mentioned there's going to be, maybe I'm beating you to the chase here, but I know you mentioned there's going to be a special opportunity today for people who are interested in trying Senja, who either whether or not they're using it now. Would you go ahead and share that with us?
Yep. Yeah, so we'll go over that right now. Let me screen share. And to that point, I just want to do like a final thought on that to close it up. That is also the benefit of why we include the private feedback question too, because sometimes it could just be, hey, I'm not as tech savvy and maybe your course used a platform that just wasn't good for me. And if we give the opportunity to get that one-on-one feedback in our testimonial forms without it necessarily impacting the overall testimonial. So definitely, the whole goal here is to open up communication and really allow people to just have that one-on-one with you without it just being like this one form that's like, can I have a testimonial? You know what I mean? But genuinely getting that insight from your audience is so important. Okay. So let me screen share real fast. So we have, like we kind of mentioned, we have this really great offer for you guys. So if you use either scan this QR code on the screen or on senja.io/pricing, you can type in John's affiliate code, which is John86, and you can get Senja Starter for $1 a month for 2 months. And traditionally it's $29 a month. So you're getting it literally for $1. It unlocks our new features like magic video. It unlocks multiple forms. So on the free plan, you only get one form. On Senja Starter, you get multiple. And even for those of you who are in this call, currently on the free plan of Senja, you can literally still scan this and try Senja Starter. So this is brand new that I decided to do literally this morning.
That's awesome.
Because I really want you guys to be testing these and really just maximizing collecting testimonials in your business. So again, even if you are on the free plan, you can still upgrade and we will honor that.
That's cool.
Yep. And so Kat just said any deal for existing loyal customers on paid Senja plans. Yeah. So I think from there, you know, if you're not already a Senja affiliate, which I'll go to that screen here in a second. I just want to give some time on this QR code. If you're not already an affiliate, join our program, please. I've been working very hard to rebuild it, but we have tons of challenges and extra ways to earn additional revenue. And like even in August right now, just so you guys know, if you're an affiliate, we're doing a $500 bonus if you get 5 paid signups. So literally like John, if John literally gets 5 paid signups, he's getting a $500 bonus on
I do?
literally
That's awesome.
this fall. Yeah. So that's a challenge with affiliates. So we're doing a lot of these different things. But yeah,
you all know I wasn't doing this for the
really
money
just upgrading for the free.
I didn't know about that. So
well, you should read our affiliate newsletter, everybody.
Yeah,
but John, you're busy. No, I know. So I'll go to the affiliate screen here in a minute, but I want to make sure we have time for questions. So we've got 5 people in the queue. So I'm going to hand over the mic kind of in order as I see them. So Adam Dickinson, I'm going to give you the mic so you are unmuted and can ask your question.
Hi, Adam. Maybe? Do you lose it?
Okay, I'm just going to keep... he left the question. Okay, Joseph Rickards, you are next. I don't know what's going on with this, but Adam just actually dropped his question in the chat. So Joseph, if you...
Let me answer that.
Move on.
Yeah, so the question here is Adam said, when you reach your quota of 100 5-star reviews, you mentioned that you focus on highlighting reviews for women. When you get to that level of stellar performance, what was your strategy next with your testimonials? It seems you hit this rock star ceiling. So what does it look like next in terms of social proof process? So for me, there's sort of like character reviews are like the base level of review, which is like, John is not a criminal. Like there's like sort of like, John's a good guy. Like he's not awful, right? And so like, I think that those are character reviews are base level. And then second are product reviews, like, hey, this course was useful. This book was awesome. It was super helpful. And then I look for results reviews. So that's what I'm focusing on right now is I want someone to say, I read this book and I went and made $10,000 in 2 weeks. Right? I'm looking for results, testimonials. Diversity is important to me to an extent, but the results are more important. Like if I have a fully diverse category of reviews of like men and women and all different races and ethnicities who don't get results, then that's a miss, right? Like my business is designed to get you results. So results matter first, but then I do pay attention to that feedback, right? Because people tell me like, I don't see someone who looks like me. I'm like, okay, well then let's talk to you. Why don't you be the first, right? So I use that as an invitation, an opportunity. I hear someone, I don't know, Joseph, is that you? You want to try saying hello?
Yeah, I didn't realize I have to take my mic off. Hi, can you see me okay?
Hey, Joseph. Yeah, we can
hear you. Hi.
Great.
Hi, I'm a client and I love Senja. And actually, I know somebody that, Right Message. He's good friends with you guys. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Brennan.
Love the product. One quick question, John, is that you said, and I'm down for saying, hey, can I quote you on that? How do you put that up? Officially, like, because I get text messages and WhatsApp, I can screenshot it, but how do you get it up on your site? Can I quote you on that? Review.
Senja. Oh, do you mean like, how do you get the question? Can I quote you on that? Or you mean like if somebody says,
no, how do you officially, like, are you in Senja? Can you just type it in like from the person, or does it have to be?
Yeah. So let me just show you. I'll just literally show you the back end of my Senja right now. Oh, look, this must be, oh, that's funny. This is the one that I just submitted as sort of a joke, but I'm going to delete that. Or I was a test, but yeah. So in here, I mean, you literally can go into proof, or was it import? Actually, we'll see if now I mess up how to get it. The best way to get it is actually, there's a Senja Chrome extension So you can literally like be on almost any website. You can be like, this is a testimonial. If it's an email or if it's something else, and you can highlight it and import it. I know there's also a way to manually add it, but of course, now that I'm sharing my screen, where it is. Sarah, where is it?
Or under import.
Under import. Okay, so import. Oh, manual
Down
import.
at the bottom,
Right?
there's a manual. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, amazing.
But also, we
you can just manually. You can just manually type the quote from your wherever the email or WhatsApp.
Exactly.
Okay, I got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
great.
think that. Yeah, I think that's important to, if you end up importing it from somewhere like Amazon or Google or something like that, what's nice is Senja automatically includes like a source link. So someone like wants to go back and see the original review, they can do that. You're not going to have that for the ones you manually import. They're not going to go back to your text message with your client, for example. But I just kind of think we want to optimize for how do humans communicate, right? So if you're communicating with somebody over text normally, I have found that sometimes sending them a form, they're like, oh yeah, I'll fill that out. And then they don't, right? So
for sure.
Get the review.
Sure. I had a second question, if I may.
Yeah. Sure.
How do you, like, the big problem we're having? I've set mine up so that I gear guys towards video reviews. I'm like, hey, right from the beginning, hey, you get a big gift, and I've got a really big 7 different gifts on the spin a wheel and win if you leave a video review. But if you leave a written review, you just get my smile and thank you. So, but the problem with the video review is, I haven't had one yet where they make it and they actually submit the video. They bug out before the final step where you have to submit the video. So my big thing is, if you guys could put where the person leaves the video at the very end of the process, that'll fix that problem. Because I'm having a super problem getting them, and then I have to contact you guys. Oh, the video's in the back end, or maybe it's not. And it's a very manual process that way. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Well, Sarah's got that feedback, but I think we also saw, like, I screen shared that process of, like, with the new forms, like, what it was pretty effortless and elegant. So maybe, I don't know, I'm curious if that's a new form that you're using or if that's on one of the older forms. Do you know? The new form's only a couple weeks old.
And also, Joseph, for how you'll know that is if you look at your forms tab inside Senja. On the form, there'll be a little thing that says upgrade to forms 2.0, and it'll show, and you just click that button and it'll upgrade naturally for you.
Oh, so it's 2 weeks old. So we installed probably 4+ weeks ago. So I just need to upgrade to forms. And on the video review, did you guys fix that problem? Is it they leave the video review at the very end of the process now?
No, so you can toggle on with every question them to either leave text or video. So it's within the form. So it's not just at the end, it's integrated into every slide that you include in your form now.
Okay. So okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Joseph.
All right. Kyle, you are up, sir. So good to see you.
Kyle, you have to unmute yourself.
Got to clear my throat. Goodness. Okay.
Am
I not unmuted? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Kyle.
Okay. Sorry. Great to see both of you.
Kyle from Creator Glue. So glad you're here.
So I'm curious. I know you were showing, like, okay, we ran a workshop. Can I get your feedback about the workshop?
Mm-hmm.
What if and I'm curious if you ever come across this situation, but you have like a new offer and you've helped somebody with this thing in the past, but you didn't get like a testimonial from them based on that. Any advice on reaching back out to people and kind of like potentially getting those reviews way later?
Yeah, way later is hard, honestly. Like, there is like a recency bias with reviews, I find. Like, because you ask somebody, like, I've had people who like have told me before, like, I dramatically changed their business forever, and like, like lifetime, like totally changed my life. And then I was like, that's amazing. And then like later I was like, oh, hey, would you record a testimonial on that? They're like, oh yeah, sure. And then like I watched the video and I'm like, the energy is kind of gone. Like, they kind of left out the details. Like, it's just like, it's been a year, like, so I do think there is a recency effect, like bias, I suppose. I don't know, that's not the right term, but there is a recency effect of some kind with testimonials that, like, you want to get it when the getting's good. Like, when they're at peak excitement is when you want to collect it. But I think you can ask people, like, hey, you could just say, like, hey, thinking back on our time working together as I'm, kind of evaluating the next stage of my business, what was your most useful takeaway from the work we've done together, in the past? That question, I find, does get people to give really good feedback, where they're like, oh, the most useful takeaway was this one thing you said that, actually, now that I think about it, we've made $600,000 because that one change we made. or and so it causes people to give really good results. So that's the question I would ask if I were you, Kyle.
Very cool. Thank you.
You got it. Yeah, Kyle, while you're here, also, I'll just say, I'd love to, I don't know what it looks like, but I'm just like, since you're here, I was just thinking, man, it'd be really cool to see some integration between the Creator Network and Senja. Like what does it look like to like include like reviews alongside recommendations? Because like recommendations is its own thing of like, I recommend this newsletter, but like reviews is like another angle of taking it. I feel like there's some interesting opportunity. I'll just float that across the table, let you do what you will with that. Yeah, thank you, Kyle. By the way, I have seen several questions in the chat about Google reviews. So what I would do if I were you, if Google reviews are important to your business, is I would send people to Google to leave the review, but then use Senja to automatically import those reviews from Google to Senja, right? So like, for example, book reviews are really important to me on Amazon. So when I have a book come out, I don't send people Senja links. I say, hey, go review the book on Amazon. And then I use Senja to automatically pull those reviews from Amazon. And so it duplicates them. It's less work for the client. It gets you what you want. So yeah, that's what I would do.
All right. Mama J, you are up.
Oh, she said she doesn't have a question anymore.
Oh, okay. All good. Okay, and then Joseph, we did not circle back to you. So you are, oh wait, we did. Just kidding. That needs to go down from the queue.
Yeah,
all right. Are there any other questions?
Well, I was just going to say,
feedback or comments?
Tony, I don't know where they use the code John86. Like I was just trying the checkout process and it wasn't clear where to put the code. So I was also going to say I dropped, if you go to meese.tips/Senja, that's the same as like the QR code. That takes you to the same place as the QR code that has the code built into the link. So I dropped that link in the chat, but if you go to meese.tips/Senja, that'll include that tag that gets you that same code. Just want to make sure that was super easy if you can't use the QR code.
Yeah, and also when you guys open up the Stripe checkout page, there's a little promo like add code on that slide as well. Okay, looks like Joseph, you re-raised your hand, so go ahead, sir.
Okay, thanks. I have recently bought a reviews site, so it's reviewsjuice.com. I was wondering if I could use the tool because I want to encourage people to come from a certain industry and leave a review, just independent reviews about other people. So it's a reviews site. Can I use that, do you think, and the review site? Your Senja.
Yeah, I don't see why not. I think it's a matter of just how you set it up. I tried looking up your domain, reviewsjuice.com, and nothing's coming up for me. So
no, I just bought it from GoDaddy, so it's still in.
Oh, it's not. You just bought the domain.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to help if you want to send me an email. It's just sarah@senja.io. We can talk through it. We have a couple of people who do kind of like review sites. Specifically thinking about Rob, who owns WTF Divorce. He does a lot of reviews just for lawyers who cover divorce. So definitely some info there to take. But yeah, happy to help. And that goes for everybody in this call. As you guys are getting Senja set up, you're trying to maybe import, especially like John just mentioned, the Google reviews. If you need help with auto importing or anything, you can always email me. And actually, let me put the partners email down because that's easier. I'll put it in the chat for you guys. So it's just partners@senja.io. And I know a couple of people, I just want to make a point too. A couple of people said that they're waiting on customer support tickets in here. We've had some change on the team. And so Ollie and I are trying to play catch up. So if you have not heard back on a support ticket, please also email me so I remember who needs support. And then I can pull your tickets specifically. Okay, it looks like
white label. Do you have a white label program? A white label for your?
Not right now.
Well, depending on you don't have white label reselling, but I would say, the way I use Senja, it's pretty white label. Like in other words, like it's all my custom domain, like it's reviews.sellyoursmarts.co. I intentionally clicked the button that said turn on the button that says like made with Senja because my affiliate link is in there. And so I make like $8 every now and then from somebody clicking on that link. But you could turn that off and Senja could be more or less invisible if you use a custom domain.
Okay.
And to that point too, you can brand our walls of love, our any of our widgets really match your brand to kind of go to that point of white right? You can make it match your website as close as you absolutely want to. So people may not even realize, that it's Senja, especially if you turn off your affiliate Made with Love. So, okay, awesome. It looks like we have one more question, which is coming from Allie. So Allie, I'm going to give you the floor.
Hey, Allie. Maybe. Allie, if you're talking,
I need to unmute.
All right, how about now?
Hey, now we can hear you.
Yay. All right. I just had a question about video testimonials. We've managed to get a handful at this point, but it's like pulling teeth. Essentially, the only way we've been able to get any is by offering an incentive. I'm just wondering, is there any magic words that, even offering the incentive, we don't get very many. So is there any strategy for getting more video testimonials from your customers, especially because we have so many people who really like what we do, but it's still difficult to get the testimonials?
Yeah. Let me share what I do. And then Sarah, I'm sure you probably have some best practices you can share, but I've had the same experience. Even though I have a lot of video testimonials, like they are harder to get. I will say sometimes it literally happens where it's like you're literally on a Zoom call with a client and they're like, and you're talking about something else, and then you kind of get the testimonial vibe. You're like, oh, they're like excited about the program right now. I've done it before where I'm literally just like, hey, real quick, I'm gonna hit record. Would you be willing to just take like 2 minutes and just share like your experience? Because I would love to be able to share that publicly. And like, oh, okay. And then it's like you're there, but you just turn off your camera or you hide and you just record on Zoom or something like that. And that is a great way to do it. I think that most of the testimonials that I've gotten, I had to like kind of text people or like kind of harass them a little bit until they recorded it. Of like they said they were going to do a video testimonial, and then just like they're like, yeah, I'm going to, but it's got to be good, and so I really want it. And so I'll just tell people like, hey, could you just record a really quick like off the cuff like 2 minutes? Just tell us about your experience in the program. So I find that helps just like downplaying it, because when people hear video testimonials, sometimes they think like, I got to get my lights on, I got to do my makeup, I got to, it just becomes like a whole project. So I would say that's important. And the other thing is, coming back to what I mentioned earlier about like that like recency effect, is like when someone has like a crazy big win, like a milestone win, that's usually when I ask for a video testimonial. I'm like, hey, would you record a video about that right now? I want to celebrate you. So I also make it's not just an ask, right? Because testimonials usually feel like an ask of just like, give me your name so I can get more customers. And I try to make it like, I want to celebrate you, I want to feature you, but I need a video. And then that helps too. So those are things that I've done that help.
All right, that's good advice. Thank you.
You got it. Sarah, you have more best practices or advice to give there?
Yeah, I think it kind of goes back to something that John mentioned earlier, right? And something that Ollie and I have gone over a lot too is, traditionally women are not as willing to hop on, right? We want to make sure our hair is done and we look good. But I think if it really comes down, and I really firmly believe this, that it comes down to just building relationships with your audience, your customers, your clients, so they feel comfortable by the time you get to a testimonial, that regardless of if their camera's perfect or their background's perfect, they still want to show you love that way. I also think that, if someone is more comfortable giving you a text testimonial up front, and it's so good, just do a follow-up call with them and be like, hey, can I record this call? And then you clip it. And that actually goes to a question that Kat had. So it's kind of a nice balance. But Kat was asking about, uploading clips into Senja from Zoom. And you can actually do that. So part of the manual import in Senja, there is the ability to click on video. So when you go to manual import, it shows you a text tab, a video tab, and all you have to do is do that. And the longer the video, guys, you can now use Magic Video to then clip the longer videos and make sizzle reels. And it literally takes like 45 seconds to create sizzle reels, which is
do you want me to do you want me to show that?
I was going through that, but go for it. Yeah, you could do it.
Yeah, let me show you the sizzle reel feature. So let me just say, I also I got to spend an evening with Ollie, the founder of Senja, at karaoke. And he also heard Binge Between Karaoke Songs on Earful for me on feature requests. And so he did mention like some of these ideas of like taking like a longer video and like being able to put that in there and like take out testimonials. Like that is a potential future roadmap thing, but that's not like a current feature. Currently, you have to take the Zoom video and like edit down like, okay, I have this like 2 minute clip. And then, yeah, you can upload that. Yeah, let me show real quick. So let me show you the new feature in Senja. That's their Magic Video feature, which is super cool. So I'm just going to say real quick, basically, you can create like a sizzle reel of like a combo of different testimonials. So let's just say I want to create a minute 30 seconds long video, arbitrarily, I guess. It's going to say, hey, here's your 3 latest video testimonials. But like maybe I want to say, you know what? Actually, I want to manually select some. So let me go in here. Mama J's here, so we should use hers, right? Let's see. We're also going to pull in Drew's is good. And Corey. So let's just pull in those 3. And then you can do up to 5 and say, okay, what do I want to do? Okay, before and after video. A video talks about the pains they had, the outcomes, highly emotional. So let me do the before and after. I like that. Let's see. Tell the AI director what to focus on. Results. Yeah. Take action to get results. I don't actually know how to talk to this AI, so we'll try to say that. Emphasize this idea. Take action to get results. Okay. Let's see. Now it'll upload the testimonials. I give it very little broad direction, so we'll see how it does. But it'll upload it. It'll fetch the transcripts. It'll kind of put them together and splice them together. And then it'll take a moment and it'll put together kind of like a montage video of them. So we'll give it just a second to do that. Feeding to our most powerful model. Ooh, can feel the AI just doing its magic. So while that's happening, filming clips. Interesting. Okay. So that'll be done in just a moment. But while that's happening, I just want to say we still have a few minutes for questions. So even if you've already asked a question, if you have another question, you can raise your hand. But if you haven't asked a question yet and you have a question specifically yes, about Senja, but a question about like how to use reviews to sell your smarts, because that's what we're here to talk about today, is also like, how do you take that, what you're selling, with your smarts, right? Your wisdom that you want to turn into wealth. How do you use reviews or testimonials to sell that?
And Mama J, I know you had a question, so I just unmuted, or I
great.
gave you the floor.
Hey,
so you might just have to unmute.
Mama J? All right. Maybe not.
Tisha, you have a question. You are up.
Hey, Tisha, what's your question? You might have to unmute. We're discovering.
Sorry. You hear me now?
You're good. Hey, we can hear you now.
Hi from Spain.
Hello. Hola.
Hola.
Acabo de regresar de Puerto Rico.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But yeah, you should probably ask your question in English. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a little video where 3 people were leaving a testimonial in one of my classes. And I found that Senja doesn't import very well when several people are giving testimonials at the same time. Should I just clip it, or what's the deal with that?
You should clip it because they do it based on customer. Can you is it one video you can like edit?
Yeah, I could edit it. I love what you've done with your page of having sections for different types of testimonials in your wall of love. I need to check how to do that, because when I imported it yesterday, I got them like all in one piece, talking about different things. So it's a bit crazy, but lovely. Thank you for this, because I think I have not been using testimonials as much as I could. And I'm just playing around with Senja for the last couple of days, and it's very exciting.
Amazing. Well, I'm glad this is useful to you, Tisha. Thank you for sharing that. And yeah, I think the easiest way to organize, they have like a tagging, hierarchy in Senja where you can say like, hey, these are, like for example, I have it tagged down to which book it came from, but then on my wall of love, I just say like, hey, just categorize all the book testimonials as one category, and so, but that also makes it simpler that when I want to have a sales page for a specific book, I just say, hey, pull in all the testimonials from that book, and so the tag.
I need to check the testimonials for wall of love thing, because they are tagged, but haven't found how to do that. So thank you.
So
that was
you got it. All right, let's try out this video. Let's see how it looks. What I don't know is if I hit play, if you can hear it. So that's probably something we need to find that out real quick.
That is what we have found, is normally people can't hear it, but we can try. But it has to do with like how your audio is coming out of your speakers, but also going into them.
No, but I know there's a way when we share a screen. Let's see. Also share tab audio. Yeah. No, I've got an option over here. I can do it. So, what I want to know is, can you give me like a yes if you can hear this?
Hey, my name is Corey Quinn.
Can you hear that? Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. So let's pick the music over here. The rhythm of the boardroom. That sounds about right. I don't know. Branding. Let's go over here and say, you know what? My primary color is actually this little blue over here, or this one. I don't need the customer tagline or company. I don't need Senja's branding. Sorry, Senja. But we'll turn that off just for the sake of this example. And then let's click play.
I am Jacqueline. Hello.
I've worked with several coaches and gone through several programs.
I was struggling because neither of the two earlier attempts sold out, and they were just really challenging.
I was left discouraged, and the reason being is because somewhere in the
Okay, let me show you how easy this is to edit, because I'm going to go, you know what? The music seems a little much. So I'm going to turn the music down. I don't know if I have to hit anything again.
process, I got
Amazing.
stuck and didn't understand what was being taught.
He took actually quite complicated sales stuff and distilled it down to very simple steps.
And what I loved about it was how straightforward, actionable it is.
Working with him live on the coaching sessions was incredible. So I got way more done than I would normally get done.
Like I made a list and sent it out to 45 people, and within just 11 minutes I was already in conversations with people.
I have already sold 2 spots on my £2,000 group coaching program.
And I was able to sell out my program. I sold 5 seats at $20,000 each, $100,000.
It didn't take much time at all because it works so well. Meaning what John teaches is so effective.
If you're thinking about working with John, I highly recommend.
I mean, that's awesome. So we just created that in a couple seconds because of what we got in Senja. So that was cool. Yeah. I'm a little.
Well, we have one question before we end today's call, but of course, you know, as you guys have questions for John specifically, I'm sure that he is open to taking them. And then obviously specific Senja questions, please direct them to me. But our last question is going to come from Blake. So Blake, you have the floor.
Blake Stratton. How you doing?
Dude, I apologize because I missed like all the meat and potatoes of this. I was doing a coaching call, wanted to come and say hello, but also I'm curious this because I haven't used Senja in a minute, and so this is kind of a helpful review. But how many different products, I guess, or like how much do you differentiate? I'm just curious, and you can say, Blake, just watch the replay or get the follow-up notes if you literally walk through this. But I'm curious for you and your like utilization of testimonials, how much you're like mixing and matching or featuring based on product, or if you go like, hey, here's the specific page on the coaching program, so it's just these. How much differentiation do you have versus? And it sounds, I had totally forgotten about tags since you. And then you showed this AI thing, so I'm like, oh yeah, maybe you don't even think about it like that, and you just tag stuff, and then it like. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, happy to. So let me just share my screen because we did talk about this briefly, but I think it'd be helpful to show it. Right. So here's my tags in here in Senja. So you can see like you got product as a category here, and then other. I don't know why actually this is other. So this should probably be a product tag. But you can see right here, there's these categories, right? So this is built in already with categories. So I'm going to go product, Senja Smarts Pro. So that's what's useful for me is that I want to be able to tag things based on the product. That's primarily what I'm doing. You could tag them based on, like tag based on results, but now they have this where I can say like, hey, show me reviews that mention money, you know, and you can actually like, it's going to kind of go through these and bring up specific ones that are going to be useful. So that's new and good. But then also, let me show you. So then those tags, that's how I do this, where if you look at like a specific product sales page, like for Senja Smarts Pro, for example, this is bringing in just testimonials that are tagged for Senja Smarts Pro, basically. Oh, I skipped it.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you manage all that manually, or do you have some of that as like auto populate as tags get added?
Oh yeah, it's auto. I mean, like for example, books, like because I've got all my books are on Amazon. Whichever book it's pulling from, it's going to tag the review in Senja based on that book. So that's all automated. And so when I'm getting these other reviews, then if I'm getting a review for Sold Out Coach Club, I'm sending somebody a Sold Out Coach Club form to say, hey, would you record a video testimonial about your experience going through this program? And so that's automatically tagging on the back end. So yeah, I do very little. I do zero manual tagging. It's all based on like how you set up where they come from. So great question.
Okay, cool.
Thanks. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I just
Amazing.
want the chance to look over your shoulder and just glean from the
Thank you.
wisdom.
Thank you, Blake. Hey, before we wrap up for today, I would love to know if you would share in the chat, everybody, what was your most useful takeaway from today's workshop, right? And now you know it's a leading question, but still, I want to know, genuinely. No, genuinely, this question, I got this question from the book, The Coaching Habit by Michael Bungay Senior, and he makes the case that there's all this study that shows that when you ask this question to your clients, what was your most useful takeaway? It actually activates the part of the brain that processes and sorts information. And so it moves things from short-term to long-term memory. So just by asking that question, people are going to remember more of what you teach, but you're also going to get great reviews and testimonials out of that. So what was your most useful takeaway from today's workshop? Please let us know in the chat. I would love to know what that is. Sarah, what was your most useful takeaway from today's workshop? I'm going to put you on the spot.
I think, I don't know. I think there's just so much to take away that, I feel like testimonials are always a back thought, right? When they should be a forward front. And so I think really it's just how to lead with what is the end result and what am I trying to achieve with my clients, my customers, my audience, and making sure that you show up in that way. So that way, when it comes time to do testimonials, you get what you're looking for and you're not disappointed by what people submit, right? Like John and I were joking before the beginning of this call of like, if we could be purely rated just on our personality and if we're liked as humans, like that would make our business millions of dollars, but that's not reality, right? So how do we really make sure that we show up and we do what we say, I think is really important. So
yeah, I'm also going to mention, just because we're talking about reviews so much, it's reminding me that one thing we didn't really talk about today, but I'm just going to share as my takeaway. Is that one of the most valuable things of reviews is actually not just for your clients. It's not just, yes, it helps you sell things. Reviews are great. They help you sell products and services. They help you celebrate your clients, but they also help you when you're having a bad day. Because I'm not going to lie, there are days where I pull up my wall of love with my coffee and I've sat there just reading testimonials that I've read before to remind myself that actually, like, I am legit. I do know what I'm doing, right? Like, we all have bad days. And so we need those, we actually need that like wall of love. I used to, originally before I had Senja, I literally printed emails and like tape them to the wall of like people who are like, you changed my life, or like you saved my business, or those kind of things. Because when I was having a rough day, I'd be like, okay, I'm actually doing something good, and so that's another benefit, right? That's another benefit of Senja can give you. It's I don't know if that can save you on therapy, but it can at least help you on a bad day. I want to highlight some of these takeaways, starting with Annie's. Annie, great takeaway. She said, being in the room with John and Sarah is the right room. So love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. Tisha said, getting ideas on how to better ask for testimonials. Amazing. Chris said, can I quote you on that? Good. And he actually quoted, can I quote you on that? Which is meta. Dean said how to get more video testimonials. Amazing. Colby, ask someone for a testimonial as soon as they get a big win. Yes. Mama J says how easy it is to get started, and I've already imported my Amazon reviews. Look at that. Amazing. So she's already got a result here on the workshop. Love that. Tony says experiential learning theory. Ooh, funky. Jared says most useful takeaway was that I can leverage these reviews in so many different ways, including, I'm just telling you right now, including that self-motivation. Beyond what I envisioned, I have so much more hope. Good. And Ali said to pursue testimonials ASAP. Love that. So many more testimonials, are so many of these coming in. I love that. Kyle said, John, now you can create a new video highlighting mentions of how much you've helped people. Love that. That's so good. Thank you all for these. And Jared, good. I'm glad you're going to use the wall of love for rough days. Amazing. And Mama J said, it's also another takeaway is a Wednesday afternoon laugh because I'm funny. Look at that. There you go. It's a character reference, I think. I don't know. But that's the kind of that actually does remind me of like what it might say. I don't know if dating apps are like public reviews. And
they are. They really are.
Yeah. I got married before dating apps took off, so I only have like dystopian like imagination of like how horrible it is.
But think about the integration possibility. Just Senja integrates with Tinder, Well, no, this was a great webinar, and thank you so much, John, for taking the time to educate and be a part of our affiliate series. I'm going to call it a day on this webinar, guys, because I know a lot of people have to pop. We've all got calls we've got to get to and work we've got to do. But again, of course, anything y'all need, please reach out. You will get a email here in about 20 minutes from Luma asking you for a testimonial about today's webinar. So please just take 5 seconds, a minute, and just let us know how you enjoyed it, because this is a new series that we're doing with Senja. We're doing them monthly. And so I really want to make sure I get your feedback to make sure that we are giving you the content and the insights that will help you in your business. And yeah, any final thoughts or words, John, before we end the call?
Oh no, I'm just reading all the testimonials and soaking up all the love for the rest of my workday. So,
I love it. I'm like,
thank you.
Fill my cup.
Yeah. Please, bring
amazing.
it. I'm enjoying. Thank you. Yeah. All right, y'all. No, seriously, everybody, keep up the good work. And remember, like okay, I do have a final thought. I'm sorry.
All good. You're good.
This is your defense against AI, because a lot of people see AI as a threat in your industry, and it's like, make your business more human. Like, build your business on the backs of real takeaways, reviews, and testimonials from real humans, and just embed that everywhere in your business. And that is something AI can fake testimonials, but we know when you read a fake testimonial, right? We're absolutely we're talking about taking real humans and making them the center of your business. And so do that.
And one final thing is that this recording is going to go up on YouTube probably early tomorrow. We just got to wait for the recording to process. So if you guys came in late, or had to pop out for a minute, or you just want to marinate and then rewatch it, it will be available on Senja's, and I'll send out another email once it's up too, so you don't have to be refreshing our account. But yeah, so it's there. So send it to your friends, marinate on it, and I can't wait to see all the testimonials you guys start collecting and just how your business scaled from here. So, all right, enjoy the rest of your Wednesday, y'all, and we will see you soon.
Take care.
Bye, everybody.